Hello and welcome everybody to my final fantasy draft. I'm Paul Cheon. Today we're sitting at Mythic 144. We have one draft left to hopefully make a nice run and finish in the double digits. But this will actually be, unfortunately, my last Final Fantasy draft because tomorrow the early access event for Edge of Eternity's event begins. So starting tomorrow, we're going to have all Edge of Eternity's content. I'm going to be posting at least one sealed deck video to help all of you prepare for your upcoming pre-release. But of course, we're going to be doing a bunch of drafts as well. So for today, we're going to hop into a draft, see how well we do, and then I'm going to give some, go over my stats for the format and just kind of my overall thoughts in the format. So make sure you stick around after the end of the draft. Now, before we head into this draft, I just wanted to say that this video is brought to you by TCGplayer.com. Go to TCGplayer.com for all your Match the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. If you want to pre-order some booster boxes of Edge of Eternities, or you wanted some singles for your standard, modern, pioneer, or commander decks, TCGplayer.com is the place to go. Make sure you hit that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Also, go to heavyplay.com for all your Match the Gathering supplies and accessories needs. If you need deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, all that good stuff to make sure you're fully ready to go for your next tabletop gaming experience, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. They're also at basically every Match the Gathering convention, so if you swing by one of their booths, tell them Paul sent you, you'll get 10% off in person as well. All right, how are we going to close the season out? What are we going to do? Well, not open a good card, because why would we? It's got 6 uncommons in it, though. But yes, pack one, pick one. There is a triple triad. There is a restoration magic, which is a decent combat trick. Light up the stage is okay. I mean, you kind of have to be aggro for this card to really shine. I'm not a big sandworm believer. Rufus Shinra is an okay card, but kind of commits you into black-white. Honestly, as it's my last draft, should I just take like Reach to Horizons and try to do some big mana stuff? I mean, this is just a good combat trick. Look, I'm just going to take what I feel is the best card in this pack and then just kind of sees where this goes. Because this is, of course, one of the weaker packs that I've seen. And I am very, very happy to move off of white if that becomes a thing. For example, I just got past Travel the Overworld. Let's just throw away this Restoration Magic. This is one of my favorite cards in the set. It's so strong in the Towns deck. Lock Coal could be a consideration. Chocobo Kick is also a strong card, but I want to draw some cards. And now, obviously I wish I took the Seek the Horizons, but, I think Restoration Magic is legitimately a very, very powerful combat trick. So that's why I took it here. Now we'll take a third pick, Ignis, which goes perfectly with the Travel the Overworld here. Combat Tutorial, Resentful Revelation, Town Greeter, Gubu Gardener. I mean, this pack is loaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decent cards, and 2 cards have already been taken. Compare that to my pack that had a Restoration Magic. Like, if Restoration Magic was in this pack, I would take 1, 2, at least 3 cards over it. But anyways, let's take the Ignis here and move on. Pack 1, pick 4. That is a late white aura site. So whenever you see a late white aura site, that's always a signal that white could potentially be open. But given where we're at, I think I'm looking at the Wyvern or the Fat Chocobo. I'm actually going to take the Fat Chocobo. I'm a Fat Chocobo believer, and blue-green has all the tools to ramp into this. And when I draft blue-green, I typically feel like I end up with enough 3s. I think it's kind of close, though. But I will take the Fat Chocobo here. All right, pack 1, pick 5. Sleep Magic, do love that. That's another white aura site, by the way, but it's not like we're, like maybe the Bant colors are all available, and white aura site's certainly strong, but so is Sleep Magic. So, certainly you could make the argument that maybe blue-white's open, but this is a pack where, I mean, that's a late Sahagin and a Suplex too. This is just a really, really excellent pack, but I will happily take Sleep Magic, and you know what? That is an Omega. That is an Omega, and this is already shaping up nicely to be a very, very solid Towns deck. Now, Quistis is okay, but, I mean, look at my deck already. Like, it doesn't even have any good targets, whereas we're already leaning into the Towns archetype. So I think I want to take Omega over the Quistis here, but I think it's somewhat close. But look, I want to take the card that says Towns on it. Here we'll take Ice Magic for interaction over a Town. We got the Dragoon's Wyvern late. That's a late battle menu. Oh my gosh. And a Resentful Revelation. Sometimes you're in a draft where everybody just knows what they're doing. But now I feel like that's not necessarily the case. Because there is no way that in pick 8, all 3 of these cards should still be in the pack. Given where we're at, though, I think the Wyvern makes a lot of sense. Solid 3-mana card. Battle Menu is certainly the best card in that pack. Here, I'll take a Geisal Greens. It's my first 2-mana play. It's totally fine filler. Noting I'm not seeing any towns here, which is a little bit concerning. Here we have Ring of the Lucii, the Roofish Tabled, and a Clash of the Icons. I'll take Clash of the Icons. I mean, this could be... Like, if I need... Oh my gosh, Town Greeter and Gardener? That's insane. I'm going to take Town Greeter. Wow, that's... Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, this pack was absolutely loaded, but I do feel like we are probably in the right color combination here. So, very, very happy about that. 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, I have 9 cards that I absolutely do not want to cut. There's also Sahagin, so blue is certainly very open. We're seeing green as well. We're not seeing a ton of red or black, I guess. And then, so I guess the person passing to us is in red-black. And then they're also not in white. So, yeah, I mean, I think if I were to guess, luck is probably just straight-up red-black. That would be my guess. All right. Anyways, moving on to pack 2, pick 1, we have, Choco Comet. There's also Omega and a Town Greeter, but I think I'm going to just take the Regalia. This is just an awesome ramp card, and that's exactly what this deck is trying to do anyways, and putting Towns in is also quite nice, but yeah, Town Greeter and Omega are also both great. I guess Town Greeter would be the other consideration here, but I want to take the flashy car. Also, I need Towns. I do need to take Towns, but I just haven't been seeing too many of them late. All right, pack 2, pick 2. That is a town, but that's also a Town Greeter and a Pixie. That's also a side quest, Hunt the Mark. Those are all decent options here. I actually still don't think I'm supposed to take the town here. I think it's between the Pixie and the Town Greeter. And I think I'm going to take the Pixie. Like, the blue-green deck doesn't care as much about self-mill, and I already have 1. So let's just mix it up here and also have a Pixie. This is just an excellent 2-mana card, and I could use more 2-mana plays. I do think, though, that it is close between the two. And now we'll take Town Greeter. So we're picking up all the premium 2-drops, which I'm very happy about. And now, with double Town Greeter, I'm certainly in the market for some kind of recursion. That would be nice. Noting that the Seek the Horizon card didn't table, so somebody might be in towns. Or Reach the Horizon. There's another Reach the Horizon here, but... given that I have 4 2s, I actually think I need Chocobo Kick here just for more interaction for our deck. But yeah, I mean, this is certainly coming together reasonably well. And now there is a Cloud of Darkness. There's a Gone in the pack as well. But with double Town Greeter, Cloud of Darkness is going to be fantastic and one of the best cards to splash in the entire format. So very, very happy with the start. I know I passed a bunch of towns. I do know that, but I think this is still fine. Here we have a Wanderings versus a Greens. I think I'll take my first Wanderings because I have the Cloud of Darkness and could use a town, but I also do like the greens. But I already have 1. I have 4 2-drops. I don't know about this Wanderings. We'll see. Here I'll take a Finn the Fangbearer just as another cheap thing to block, just to make sure that I can get to the late game here. Dreams of Laguna could also be a reasonable consideration. We could also just... Honestly, look, we could just end up being like a blue-green deck with no towns. I mean, that's certainly on the table. But yeah, this is just a really good blocker. And I'm going to take it over Dreams of Laguna. I don't love Dreams that much. All right, Treno, we have to take. Absolutely, we're going to take that. Town Greeter number 9. Or pack 2, pick 9. Okay. Well, so now if I'm looking to splash too, like if I see a fight on, oh my gosh, this is the most number of Town Greeters I've ever had. This is ridiculous, by the way. This doesn't seem like a great Sahagin deck, so I think I'm going to cut that. Okay. Wow. No respect for the Town Greeter. I love this card. We have a Cloud of Darkness already. Bard's Bow is totally fine. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I mean, we have 18 playable cards for our deck already. That's nuts. I mean, certainly I can cut like the greens, I guess, but with 4 Town Greeters, like this gets like a little bit better. And also, this is not including Clash of the Icons, which is certainly nice with Summon Fat Chocobo, because you can make another 2/2. Gubu Gardener, Ambrosia with 2 cards. This is a crazy, crazy draft. I actually don't... I mean, I guess I'm playing the Gardener. I've never expected to have this many 2-drops, like, late, right? Because we tabled most of these cards. So we need to put a priority on good spells now. Another Giselle Greens. Okay. We need to put a priority on good spells and towns if possible. Pack 3, pick 1 gives us neither of those things. Literally just another garbage tier pack with literally nothing that I want. I'm going to be a blue-green deck with maybe a light touch of black, so I don't want Darkness Crystal or Corner by Black Mages. I guess I'm just taking Scorpion Sentinel, but this is definitely a deck that doesn't need a card like the Sentinel. I just want, again, good mana fixing, maybe more card draw, another Travel the Overworld. Cards like that would be nice. Here we have Balanti Rexar versus the Wyvern. Still going to take the Wyvern here. Now, blue did feel open from this side, and now we're seeing it. There's another Wyvern, Ignis, Torgal, and a Samurai's Katana. And given that I have so many 2s, I actually think Ignis is just better than Torgal. So let's go ahead and take that. Just to have as another premium 3. Like, I've never had to make these decisions before. Like, cutting greens and bows and wander, I mean, these are all like totally fine playable cards here. 3, 4, 8. Oh my gosh, 4 Town Greeters. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19. I mean, to be fair, like, I could totally see not playing all of these if I don't have a million graveyard things, but I do think this card is very good. Here, there's a Gardener, but I'm taking Memories Returning. I definitely could use another big card draw spell, and now I'm feeling much better about having Memories Returning plus Travel the Overworld. Could use some more interaction, maybe one more top-end threat, but honestly, this deck is looking rock solid here for now. I mean, I would even probably, with 4 Town Greeters, a card like Iridia's Return, I would certainly play. So if I can get some towns and Iridia's Return or a Fight On, that would be ideal. Pack 3, pick 5 gives us a town and 2 really good interactive spells. I still think I need to take the interaction here. I'm probably just taking a Chocobo Kick just to keep my curve kind of lower. So let's go ahead and take that. Here now, I don't need the Gardener. I'm going to take the town. I'm going to take the off-color town here. I have so many playables. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 22 cards. I just don't feel like I want to play the second Gardener anyways. So let's just take a town. Obviously, I would like Sultai towns if possible, but like, I just need to take some. Here we have an Eden. And that is really interesting because it is a recursion spell, and it's also a town. But a third Dragoon's Wyvern is just too tempting. That's a late fire magic too. I think I'm just going to take the Wyvern. The Wyvern is just too good a card, I think, for me to pass there. Here, Dreams of Laguna versus Ice Flan. There's also Ring of the Lucii, but I think I will just take a card draw spell here. In the Dreams of Laguna. Certainly, it gets a lot better with 4 towns. This is such a weird deck. It's like somebody just took every single town that they saw. Or most of them, because we're seeing like no towns. Look at this. World Map versus Grand Pulse. I mean, I'll just take the Ochu. I'll take Syncopate. Home, and somehow we get a blue-green town with 2 cards left. Like, I don't even understand this draft. This will be an interesting draft just because we have a gazillion cards to cut from this deck. We have 32 playable cards. I repeat, we have 32 playable cards in this draft. Oh my gosh. The weird thing too, though, is like, it's not like I have a bunch of bombs, so it's weird, right? It's like I have 32 playable cards, but like at the same time, I didn't get like a bunch of awesome uncommons. It's just like these colors just ended up being deep, but it's not like my deck ended up being absurd or anything, right? Something like that. Ice Magic goes here. Somebody said type in job. Does that do anything? Oh, I don't have any job select cards, so that doesn't matter. Okay, so this is the deck, and this is after I cut a million cards, by the way. 11, 12, 13, 6, 7, 8, 14. This is 17 lands. Can probably cut Clash of Icons because it's a fight spell. We have 4 removal spells. It's a little bit on the lighter end. Vayne and Grand Pulse Ochu, notably, are okay. They help me survive, but the big thing is they also work really, really well with Chocobo Kick. And also with 4 copies of Town Greeter, I do think the Ochu is definitely a lot better. I mean, if anything, you can make the case that it's better than the Vayne in this deck in particular, just with the 4 copies of the Town Greeter here. Also, we can totally cut a land here. I mean, if we play 16 lands with 4 Town Greeters of Gubu, Gardener, and an Ignis, like, that's also fine. All right, so what land do I want to cut? Probably an island. Just because my Town Greeters can find me the blue sources, right? Also, I have 3 black sources here, not clear. I think just 1 swamp is fine. Like, 2 black sources with 4 Town Greeters and 2 Ignises should be more than enough. I think I kind of want 9 green sources with the 4 Town Greeters. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then 1 more card from this deck. I don't think it's still Town Greeter. I like the idea of Dreams of Laguna plus Memories returning. Like, when you have 4 Town Greeters, having some number of flashback cards is pretty nice. Also, I did notice that my deck doesn't actually have a lot of good things to ramp into. So I wonder if, like, I mean, this feels like it might be a little bit crazy, but like, look at my curve. I have 5 3-drops and 7 2s. I'm wondering if, like, and I don't have that many 4s to ramp into. Like, I wonder if cutting a Gardener makes sense. Just because I do think the Town Greeter in general is better. Just because I have Cloud of Darkness, I have some flashback cards. I don't know. That's something to consider because it's like that or the Scorpion Sentinel. Like I said, I like the interaction of my Death Touch cards with my Chocobo kicks. And then let's take a look at what else we're missing here. There's also Syncopate. I didn't consider this. And I don't care about the greens. I think it's worse than my other 2-mana options. I don't think Sahagyan's particularly good here. And I don't think I need to ramp with the Wanderings or the Blitzball. And Clash of the Icons, I have too many small creatures, and I don't think the fight spell is good. So yeah. All right, so Syncopate's back in the mix now, and I think it's between these cards on the right. I think I want to keep Scorpion Sentinel just because I actually don't have that much good late game. So this is just something that can potentially like hit my opponent very hard in the late game. This is a nice little flyer. I want to draw some cards. Maybe it's just these 2 cards on the right. Yeah, I'll cut the... Like, this deck is kind of tapping out every single turn. And you know what? This is wild, but I do think I'm going to cut the Gardener here, keep the Sentinel, just because this is a better late game threat. And I have 4 Town Greeters as, like, mana cards to play. And I have 2 copies of Ignis. And I think I'm more interested in, like... I consider this more of an action card than the Gardener, where, you know, with the Town Greeters and the Ignises, I should get to the lands necessary to hit for 4. So this is what I'm going to go with just because I have so much mana. And even the Ochu, like in the late game, acts as something that can potentially do something, whereas the Gardener just kind of sits there. And yeah. Okay. All right. I don't think I've ever cut Gubu Gardener in a blue-green deck before, but here we are. And Syncopate is also a card that we cut. But I think this deck is just fine. We are lacking bombs, but it's certainly got a fair number of solid cards. I could have really used, like I said, I was looking for Iridia's Return or a Phyton and possibly more towns, but we didn't see too many of them. Or every time we got the opportunity to take one, there was like a Chocobo kick or a premium removal spell. And I think order of operations, you still just need to take the premium removal spells here. But let's give this a whirl and see how this goes. There was definitely at least one other Towns drafter, but I do think we have a pretty good deck. And this was probably our seat given the way that the draft flowed. All right, now before round 1 starts, I just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. Big shout out to all the patrons. Thank you so much for all your support. Access to Patreon gives you access to my Discord channel, which I believe is a really great way to join an awesome community of folks also looking to up their limited game. All right, we have a hand here of, I guess, you know what? Maybe 4 Town Greeters is too many. Maybe I should play 3. So I might actually go back to 1 Gardener, 3 Town Greeters. The more I think about it, just because my deck does go long and I can certainly just deck myself. So that is a consideration. Anyways, we're going to keep this hand here. We had 2 Force and a Town Greeter. We have a turn 3 Ignis as well. So loving this. We have a turn 2 Town Greeter. I just like this more because it can potentially find us a town. Or we just missed. All right. Missing with Town Greeter, nothing worse. And this is where this is where the naysayers will go, well, Paul, you played 16 lands. It's still fine. Like, I'm still, like, you will miss some number of the time. So it is what it is. Let's play an Ignis here for more ramp. If I miss with the Ignis, though, I'll be very upset, okay? If I miss with Ignis here, I'll be so upset. All right, we've dug through half our deck. Need to find... We would like to find some towns, but granted, we only have 3. Opponent on a blue-white deck here. Next turn, if we draw a land, we can go Wyvern plus Finn. Can't really cast the Omega or the Cloud of Darkness anytime soon. Go! All right. Hold, we did find a town, so that was great. What do you do? Copy target activated or triggered ability. It's a tap effect, right? All right, so let's put this to sleep. Zac Fair does not do anything to it. It just makes it indestructible. But we're just tapping it down. We get to attack with Ignis. Then we get to play the Wyvern. All right, what do we need here? Ooh, cargo ship. What's the crew cost on that thing? 1? Wow. So I cannot attack. All right, let's play Finn the Fangbearer here and a Scorpion Sentinel. Now remember, I have 16 lands, 4 Town Greeters, and 2 Ignises. So that's effectively 22 mana sources. So now we're like, if I draw a land, I get 1 step closer to Omega. And if I draw action, obviously that's also totally fine. Magitech Armor is the play from the opponent. So neither side can really do too much right now. Milling my Travel the Overworld is very sad, I will say. All right, we drew the Swamp. That is very nice. The problem is I don't have a good target for it. Like, killing Zac seems pretty weak. The question is, do I want to attack with Vayne? They can attack me back with Magitech Armor, but then I can swing back for a lot. I think they're just going to take 1, which is fine. I'm gonna... Yeah, this is awkward because basically, like, if I play Cloud of Darkness, they're going to crew the cargo ship and then turn it into a 3/4 flyer. So I kind of want to wait till after. So I'm going to wait on the Cloud of Darkness. But now the thing is, I don't want to exile anything out of my graveyard because that weakens my Cloud of Darkness. Okay? I also just want to find a better target for Cloud of Darkness, which is why I'm doing this. But I guess, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to block here anyways, so this is fine. 4 cards in hand for the opponent. Scorpion Sentinel. Okay, so a little blue-white artifact deck. I haven't found any of my card draws. I guess no, never mind. I milled my Travel the Overworld. And that is a land, so that is huge. And let's cast Omega. Let's tamp down the cargo ship. And now what do I do? Here, I kind of want them to use the Zac. Now, should I do it at the expense of my Scorpion Sentinel or just my Finn? Actually, let's just attack. So this is another reason why I'm doing this is because this will put 4 permanents in my graveyard, which will then allow my Cloud of Darkness to finish off something on the other side. So Zac should block my Finn because they're going to save their Magitech Armor. And I'm basically trading my Scorpion Sentinel for Magitech Armor. And I know it's not a good trade. But the good thing about this is it opens the door for me to make better attacks with the Omega on the following turn. Because now that indestructibility is off the table. So yeah, Cloud of Darkness also at 4 now, which I can use to just kill Scorpion Sentinel if I absolutely need. Or whatever other big blocker that they might play. Yeah, I'm actually, the more I look at this, the more I'm liking my decision not to play the Gardener and also the Syncopate. Like I said, I'm tapping out almost every single turn, and I don't have too many things to play at instant speed, which makes counters a little bit worse, other than the Ignis activation. And then, like, this deck just has plenty of ways to get mana. Well, they're passing with all this mana up, which I don't love, I will say. But I will make the obvious attacks. 3, 4, 5. I can still play the land. If I played a land, I can play Cloud of Darkness and also activate Ignis. Wait, why would they do that? What just happened? Why did they crew the cargo ship? I think that was a misclick. Okay. So now my opponent's chump blocking. All right. And then now they're crewing the armor? I don't... What's happening? All right. And now I will... They're at 6 poison. Okay. I will play Cloud of Darkness. I mean, did they just pass to leave up Syncopate? That can't be right. I'm going to kill the cargo ship. Magic Damper? Okay. Was that your big finish? All right. Well, if that's what they had, I'm feeling decent. Also, this is just a 3/3 flyer that's bigger than the cargo ship. They have Ultros, okay. So they're at 10 life, so I can try to make some good attacks. Now, I will say the best attacks are the attacks with the creatures on the right. But maybe, I mean, especially if I can find like a Chocobo kick. I found a Chocobo kick. So Omega plus Ash, like I'm thinking here. They have 2 cards. Like I kind of want to kill the Ultros just because I think that's going to be highly problematic. I don't think there's a reason to get, like, throw my creatures away this turn. I think I just make the good attacks here, and then I can get in for better attacks next turn. I think Scorpion Sentinel is going to crew up the Magitech Armor. Ash and Magitech Armor go in front of the Omega. Oh. Okay, yeah, no, this also works. What am I saying? Yeah. I'm surprised. Okay, sure. I mean, blocking this doesn't do anything. This just makes it worse if I have a removal spell. I just kill everything, but I guess it's the same. So let's kill these 2. They're at 8 poison. So now the Finn actually has to be dealt with. Absolutely killing Ultros because that can just slow everything down. And let's pass. All right, next turn I can attack with everything, basically. I also have the Ignis available. And by picking up a land, it's like generates an extra mana, so I can sack both my food. They have 2 cards in hand. We'll see what they do. Like, this will just automatically trade with something now. I didn't think I'd ever get there. Granted, I don't draft Finn all that often, but, you know, obviously things are looking okay in this spot. But you know that they still have action, because it's not like they've been hitting all of their land drops. Jill, that is action. That counts. They bounce my Finn. Okay, fair. And a Pixie, sure. They're at 6 life. Oof. I guess I shouldn't have killed Ultros. They had no spells. But of course, there's no way to know that at the time. I mean, I don't actually have a great attack here, right? Ooh. Ice Magic changes things. Man, there's so much I can do with the Ice Magic. Like, I can bounce... I mean, honestly, I feel like I should just bounce the cargo ship when they crew it. I imagine it's going to be like Jill crewing up the cargo ship, and then I bounce it. Pixie blocks the Wyvern. 1/4... Yeah, okay. And worst case scenario here, too, by the way, like, I can just pick up my Cloud of Darkness to kill something. That also works, right? Okay, so this just kills them. So if they have no cards in hand, they crew that, I bounce it, they take 5 in the air, and... Okay. Yep. Now they take 5 in the air, and one of my 1/1s gets through. And that is lethal. All right. That was a good game. That was a good game. Didn't actually get too much, like... I didn't get to play any of my 3 card draw spells, but we still had just enough to do and top deck to just enough. But, you know, that is the concern for this deck. It's like running out of action. But hopefully Travel the Overworld, Memories Returning, and Dreams of Laguna is enough to find us what we need. All right, on the play here, hey, we have one of our towns. That's always great. We have a turn 2 Finn or a Town Greeter. Both are fine options. I don't know which one I want. Let's get Finn going. Like, if I play this turn 2, I mean, it can put a lot of pressure on the opponent. I have the Grand Pulse Ochu 2. Now I'm going to play the Wyvern. I mean, what a curve, right? Turn 2 Finn, turn 3 Wyvern, turn 4 Regalia. And my opponent's playing a red-white deck with no 2-drop. They didn't play a 2-drop, so that's obviously very good for us. Okay, they did play Furion. Do I attack with this? I mean, certainly these two are getting in. Yeah, I'll just attack with those. All right, hit a forest. Those were the cards I hit. I mean, this is a rock solid draw. They could play Warrior Sword here. That would get in for some amount of damage. They sure did. Happy to trade... sorry. Let's see, which one's the token? Okay, I'm happy to block the 4-3 if they attack with that. I'm happy to take this, so... Because the which one dies? Something dies. I think the equipment dies. Okay. Alright, we found a Wyvern, and we have this Omega. So now the Regalia will be trading with this Warrior Sword, which I think is okay. Just because we still get the ramp, which makes it so that we'll be able to play the Omega. I guess I'll play this first just to see what we hit. Because I can't play the Omega here. Alright, we found a Swamp. Play the Swamp. The question is, do I also attack with the Finn? 16 versus 13? No. Alright, hit a forest. Alright. 11 to 16. We have another Wyvern. Lots of flyers. Lots of blockers. And then next turn we get to play Omega. Lionheart. Oh my gosh. With Furion, they get to kill both of my Wyverns. Wow. That's crazy good. It's the best Furion I've seen. Wait, what does it do? Oh, you can equip. Alright. Bring it on. Three, four, five, six, seven. I'm just gonna play this, and yeah, maybe I could have gotten in for like a little more damage here. And that's like the control player in me not wanting to attack with the Finn, but like dealing 1 damage while taking 3 just didn't feel like a good trade. So I missed out on 2 attacks with the Finn. We'll see if it ends up mattering here. It's a weapons vendor. Presumably they will move their equipment. Travel the Overworld. What a draw. Okay, and we drew Sleep Magic too. Oh my gosh. 8, 9, 10. I don't think they have anything. Alright. Travel the Overworld into removal spell land. That'll get it done. But hey, that was a really sweet showcasing of Furion, I will say. Very, very good showcase. Like, if they had a 2-drop, like, could have been a different game, but they didn't, and we are 2-0. Alright. Opponent on the play. I have turn 2 Pixie. I'm going to keep this. I have lots of green sources, and I'm on the draw, so if I just draw any land, I still have a 2-drop and 2 3-drops I can play, which gives us plenty of time to find our green mana. Opponent's on green-white. We have a turn 2 Pixie. Also, if the Pixie doesn't die, obviously that can also help us find a green source. Wow, Regalia. Okay. So land, untap land would be great. I don't want Chocobo Kick. I want to draw a land to play Regalia. Wow, how do you keep a hand with... I mean, clearly they have a 4-drop. I guess White Auracite is a reason to keep this hand, but I dislike keeping a hand that has literally nothing to do until turn 4. That seems mostly incorrect. Especially, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, they're going to start playing a bunch of big things, and we surveilled. We couldn't find land number 4, so this is where we are. Now, if I can still find land number 4 here, I'll be okay. Another white aura site. Okay, I guess they had a double white aura site hand. Sure. Can I please get an untapped land here? Please. Thank you. Goodness. Gallicat is fantastic here. But they drew that. They didn't have that in their opener because they could have played a turn 3. Forest. There we go. All right. Hopefully they used up all their white aura sites. You know what I'm really afraid of, though? The Crystals Chosen. Crystals Chosen here would be ridiculous. I guess Fat Chocobo is also pretty good. So they have 3 mana up. I just feel like it's a little bit too risky to try to Chocobo kick the... Fat Chocobo. I think I'm okay with the trade here, honestly. And if they have a interactive spell, they have an interactive spell is kind of where I'm at here. Okay. All right, now what? I can still Chocobo kick, but I think I'm still just going to hold off here and play Ignis. This will probably get us... And we found another green source. So next turn, it's not going to be too bad. Here, we'll put a town into play and then play the swamp. So now we have 1,000,000 mana in play. They have a Gallicat and a Chocobo token and 2 cards in hand. Let's see what they play. The Earth Crystal? What? Okay. That's a good one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. I can actually play all 3 of these cards, but I don't... 5... Let me think. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's cast with Kicker. Dead Gallicat. Play Fat Chocobo. And then attack. The reason why I'm doing this is because they have the Earth Crystal in play. So I just don't want them to put counters on their creatures, right? So now this is like a really, really good place to be. And they're at 9 life. Vanille, that is about as good as it gets as a play here. They're going to get the Gallicat back. They can actually get Summon Fat Chocobo back. It's actually kind of close what to do between those two. Now, the Gallicat makes it so that I can't attack with the Wyvern. But yeah, Vanille was a fantastic draw here. Town Greeter as well. Hit a land. All right, well, now it's... I mean, it's not like we have a good... It's not like we're in a great spot here. Unless I can find a removal spell here. Alright, we found a forest. They're at 9 life. Like, how bad is it if I attack with everything? So Gallicat goes here. This goes here, and they just take infinite. But if they put these 2 here, I'm okay with that, too. I mean, this is fine. All my stuff has trample, too. And if something dies, the Grand Pulse Ochu becomes gigantic. Did they not realize my 1/3 has Death Touch? I don't think they did. Alright, well they're at 1 life. And my Grand Pulse Ochu will be a 5/5 Death Touch Trampler next turn. Alright, and that should be the game here. They can hit me for 7 though. That's cool. Boom, that's a 2-turn clock. So if I disconnect, I will lose this game. Alright, never mind. Found a Sleep Magic. Alright! We're just, you know, look, our deck isn't fancy by any means. It's just, it's got mostly commons. I mean, I think our seat was there. We just didn't see, like, enough of the really great uncommons, but it's still fine, right? We have a lot of premium commons, and so far, so good. And we are in the double digits, which is kind of mostly what I wanted here. So I'm happy enough being ranked number 49, just because I haven't been drafting a ton outside of these videos. So, like, given that I'm basically just doing a draft a day, I'm pretty happy with my ranking, right? It's like, I don't stream, I don't, you know, play 8 hours a day necessarily. So it is harder, definitely. Yeah, definitely playing the Pixie here. If I don't draw a land, obviously I can play the Dreams of Laguna and hopefully use that to help me find mana, which I will absolutely do here. So let's attack first. If it's not a land, I don't want it. Gosh. I mean, I have to take it. I don't want to miss land drops. All right. So next turn, again, like obviously a land would be great with the Regalia. If not, then I'm going to be in a tough spot again. Land? Ugh, darn it. I'm going to put you to sleep and attack to try to hit a land. God, okay, I'll keep the island. This is just the most awkward set of circumstances ever. Keep in mind, by the way, I have 9 green sources. And like for this game and the last game, we've just been stuck on blue or like had very, very blue heavy hands. Samurai's Katana. Hey, you know what? Actually, this is perfect. This is actually like like Samurai's Katana is fantastic, but I'm just saying the way that things lined up was amazing for us because we can bounce the token here. Next turn, play the Regalia. Crew that up. And now our mana troubles are gone. And we hit a blue-green town. Let's go. All right. Now I'm feeling fantastic because we can play Summon Fat Choke. Never mind. I'm not feeling fantastic anymore. Not feeling fantastic anymore. They don't fly on defense. I'll trade with the Dion, and I think maybe they'll take that as well. I'll keep Chocobo Kick. Really? I mean, I know this is a nice rare, but like, you kind of need to double block the Regalia, I think. Like, what is this doing for you? Like, you're not at 6 mana. Okay. Well, we'll obviously we'll take it. So they have a white mana. Oh, they okay, yeah, they are done for. They're at 6 life. Like they can't. All right. Anyways, oh shoot. Well, no, never mind. I could have given this trample too, but like I kind of want to attack with everything here. Do I need the town? Okay, well, they're super dead. All right. Well, our hand certainly got there. They actually, if you think about it, their curve was awesome. They went like 2-drop Samurai's Katana into Dion. but the Regalia got us there. Whew. That one, it looked a little bit dicey. Like, there was potential for that game to be like a disaster. Like, if they didn't play Katana and played some other random creature, right? And then if I didn't draw land number 4, like, there's just a lot that kind of went right for us, but the Pixie was important there, right? It just found us. It made sure that it guaranteed that we were able to make sure that we have those lands on top. All right, gonna keep this 3 lands, all of my colors, Memories Returning, Chocobo Kick, Town Greeter, and the Omega. Absolutely love this hand. Something to do early, something to do late. Granted, what we do early isn't, we're not impacting the board very much here. Now, when I played a Town Greeter here, Lunatic Pandora. Okay, I'm okay with that. Let's play Town Greeter. Drew Gongaga. I want a blue source here. All right, we found a blue source here in the Guado Solemn. So 2 towns here with the Omega is nice. Hit a Dreams of Laguna for extra value as well. But, like, this Chocobo Kick's not doing anything. You know what'd be nice off the top? A Gubu Gardener. I kid. A little bit. All right. Let's play the tap land. Pass. Need to find some action here, right? This was our opener. All right, we're at 2 poison. Our opponent on a green-white deck. Like, I would love to just draw, like, a 4-mana permanent here. Regalia. Regalia would be insane, obviously. Otherwise, I will have no choice but to cast Memories Returning, but I'm going to have to discard. Because this is 6 cards. I draw for turn, that's 7. Play this, that's 6. Play this, that's 5. And then I have 3 cards in my hand. I mean, even drawing like a Finn to go Finn Chocobo Kick would just be a nice way to kind of stabilize this board. Sleep Magic. No, that's not good enough. I guess we just play this. All right, what do I want? I guess I want the card draw spell. They're gonna... And then I guess I take Town Greeter. And then I'm just gonna get some land that I'm gonna discard here. And they're not putting like a ton of pressure on us, so it's fine. And I'm gonna discard Forest. Not going to cast Travel the World anytime soon. The nice thing about next turn, though, is I do have Sleep Magic. So, like, I can use that as a way to kind of help slow my opponent down. Now, I don't have actually a good creature for Chocobo Kick, though. So I'm taking 3 damage here. I don't actually know which one I want to lock down. Probably the Death Toucher, because it just trades with everything that I have. And this is certainly a hand where I'm not going to run out of action. Or at least ways to spend my mana. Now, in terms of the ways that I want to spend my mana, yes, I want creatures. So let's draw some. 4 poison. Did our opponent miss a land drop? No, I don't think they did. They went turn 1 Pandora, turn 2 Finn, turn 3 Coral. So they did not miss a land drop. But they might miss one this turn. That's a Galacat. Okay. And that is an Ice Magic. Okay. I actually think I just want to use all my removal spells here. So why don't we use Sleep Magic on this? And then the question is, do I want to use Ice Magic on Galacat? They have 4 cards. I mean, it just gets rid of it, so that's good. Here, let's do that. They're going to choose not to draw it. But it is kind of an annoying threat anyways, because I have double Dragoon's Wyvern. And given that they missed a land drop, I highly doubt that they're going to keep that on top. And then now I get to attack with the Town Greeter, because I'm certainly not chumping the Coral. Alright. Alright. So, I mean, this was just 4 mana, kill a Galacat, which honestly isn't terrible. Like, I just want to utilize all my removal and all... Like, I just want to get cards out of my hand so that I can stock up again with the Travel the Overworld. Taking 2 here. I do have to be careful with, like, all of the Town Greeter shenanigans. We did draw Grand Pulse Ochu. Still feel like I should play this Town Greeter, but noting that I am getting a little bit nervous. Okay, but like that... okay, hit a land. Play the Ochu. Play this. Attack. And don't want to use Chocobo Kick on this. Like, we're getting to the point where my opponent's probably going to play something big. And now, if I think that was the last Town Greeter I'm casting for this game. So I have one more in my deck. If I draw it, I'm probably not going to cast it, given that I have a Travel the Overworld and a Memories Returning here. But this Ochu, I mean, this could potentially close out the game by itself. I have 6 permanents in my graveyard already. Next turn, I can play an Omega for 2, which is going to be good. And then I can refuel with this, Chocobo Kick. So things are looking good. 5 cards in hand for the opponent, barring absurd bombs, of course. All right, Monk's Fist is not what I would classify as an absurd bomb. So we are totally fine with this. All right, let's start putting some pressure here on the opponent here. Play the Omega, target the Coral, see what they do. And I'm locking this down because this can tap the Omega. And honestly, for them, they should just surveil with the Pandora. They shouldn't look to tap something down. Now I can attack for free here with the Town Greeters. Grand Pulse Ochu obviously going to be waiting here. 2 mana. You have Ambrosia? Ambrosia would be really good. They get to pick up the Finn and also just kill one of my things. But I'm certainly not playing around it, so. All right. And, like, our hand is obviously excellent here, right? We have the better board. We have more mana. We have a removal spell and a draw 4 spell in our hand. So I'm loving our situation here. Airship crash. Oh, on Omega. Oh, well, I'm feeling much worse about this spot. I think this is as good as an opportunity to draw 4 cards. We somehow did not draw a land. I was kind of hoping to play the Wyvern, but I guess we can play the Scorpion Sentinel here. Let's attack for 2 again. And our hand is just loaded. I mean, obviously, like, I shouldn't complain about not drawing a land because I drew 4 awesome spells. So our hand is completely loaded, and it's going to be really difficult for them to fight through all of these resources. Like, we got to cast Memories Returning. We got a couple lands with the Town Greeters. We drew 4 cards off Travel the Overworld. Like, this is just too much, in my opinion. All right, so they're leaving up 3 mana, and they didn't move this, so that probably tells me they have the, the kill a tap creature thing, which is fine, obviously. I'm not going to stop attacking, so. Oh, they could also have +4/+4, I guess. Yeah, +4/+4 also works. The reason why I'm not attacking with this is, like, I don't want them to block, and then I feel incentivized to like pump this, and then they like blow me out. But I suppose on the flip side, like I can just choose not to pump and be okay with the trade. But I just feel like this combos so well with the Summon Fat Chocobo that I don't want to take that risk, and I want to attack next turn. Because now that I can play the Summon Fat Chocobo, like I'm looking way better here, right? Now I do this, play the Wyvern, and all of a sudden I have an overwhelming board and a threat of a 9/9 Trampling Death Toucher. 3 cards in hand for the opponent. Chocobo Kick's always a dicey one to just try to resolve when your opponent has a bunch of mana up, so I do need to be mindful of that. This is kind of annoying as a tapper, though. That is a Bard's Bow. So I want to target the Coeurl here because I want them to tap out, and then the coast will be clear for my Chocobo Kicks, right? Like, they're probably going to tap my Fat Chocobo here or something. Why would you tap that when I don't have the mana? Okay. Okay. Let's see. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if I Chocobo Kick, I win. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. I mean, we were just up way too many resources. And this is always my issue when I draft green-white decks. It's like, you do some things, but you're not quite aggressive enough to kill people really quickly. But you're not, and if you ever go into the late game against a blue-based control deck or a Golgari deck, like you just have way few ways to get card advantage. So green-white's always been kind of this weird spot in this format, and that's why a card like the Crystal's Chosen is so important. Because like, yeah, they can draw cards, but you can go super wide and just overwhelm your opponent with pure stats. All right, 5-0. Did not necessarily expect to be here, but I'm happy I'm here for it, and an excellent, excellent way to close out the Final Fantasy season. All right, number 24. Kobe. All right, opponent on the play here. We have Gungaga. This is such a weird hand. It's basically 6 lands. I'm going to keep, but I don't... we'll see what happens. Hopefully I mill some flashback spells. I have 2, I guess. Believe in the deck. It's going to find me all the blue sources that I... Oh, no. Now, so the thing that I cannot afford to do here is just naturally draw lands. All right, red-white beats on the play with the turn 1 Zac into a turn 2 Magitech Infantry. Yep. I mean, this is the Towns deck's worst nightmare. This is the worst matchup for the Towns deck. A Boros player on the play. I remember asking Shuhei Nakamura during Pro Tour Final Fantasy. I was like, "Do you like the 5-color Towns decks? Like, it looks really sweet." And he says, "No, I don't, because I feel like the white aggressive decks are among the better strategies in an 8-player best of 3 pod, and the Towns decks could almost never beat a very solid red-white deck." That's what he told me, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we'll see what happens. Ken Yukihiro was 5-1 in the limited portion with a nice red-white deck too. All right, Magitech Infantry, but guess what? We have the answer to Magitech Infantry here. Town Greeter all the way. Oh, we hit a Dreams of Laguna and we hit a town. There is a Cloud of Darkness that's in our graveyard, unfortunately, but that is the cost of doing business. Make them think we have a black spell. Actually, I should have played the blue-green land. This is literally my only black card, so I just should have played the blue-green land. I wonder how many Magitech Infantries they have. I'm so happy I decided to play all my Death Touch creatures. These Chocobo Kicks have looked pretty underwhelming when my hand is just all Town Greeters. I don't know what trick this can be, but it can't be that bad, is the way I look at it. All right, Coral Sword, sure. Okay. I drew all 4 of them. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, we're hitting cool cards. I have 17 cards left in my deck. Is it a may? No, it's a must. All right, let's see what happens when we cast 4 Town Greeters in a game. Okay, for science. Look, if they get another Magitech Infantry, I'm just gonna need to block. So, yeah, I mean, they have the nuts red-white deck. Triple Magitech Infantry. Whew. We milled most of our good cards. I don't even know if we have enough like resources to win the game. We will see. But it's my only line here. So let's see where this goes. I was going to make the Gubu Gardener swap, and I just kept forgetting. So maybe I should. But like, the odds of drawing 4 Town Greeters is so low. This is just the first game in 6 where we did it, so. All right, hey, look, those are all good trades, right? It's just, the problem is, I need to draw a creep. Like, I haven't drawn like a creep. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Now, this is gonna force them to use the Zac, but I just have to do it, right? So let's just go for it anyways. Wow, they draw a card too? That's not cool. This card is really annoying, actually. I'm actually curious what the win rate on this. I don't know if it's good. But I'm curious what the win rate is on this card. Mangara. It's not very high. I mean, perhaps I didn't need to go for the Chocobo kick right away and give them that card. So that could be on me. Yeah, that could be on me for sure. Dragoon's Lance. Oof. Are they going to give this flying? Yep. All right, we'll take 4. Whoo! That 14 Grand Pulse Ochu is insane. I'm only at 17. All right, let's attack. Three, 4, 5, 6. I don't need Dreams of Laguna. Like, I already have my next turn mapped out. And I actually legitimately, like, can potentially get a poison kill here. So let's see if we can go for that. All right, looks like they have 2 more spells, though. Do you see that? This can be a 15-15 Grand Pulse Ochu. How absurd is that? Monk's Fist, okay. Like, this plus Fat Chocobo is, like, a really nice combo. 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, no attacks from them. And we drew a Scorpion Sentinel. Okay. All right, I don't think I have decent attacks here anymore. I mean, they can start hitting me in the air for a bunch. Anyways, let's lock down the Gallicat. No attacks. Because next turn, the Grand Pulse Ochu literally becomes the Abyss. Right? And what I mean by the Abyss is an old card where basically it was an enchantment that killed your opponent's creature every single turn. And that's kind of what this is. It's a 15-15 that must be blocked. I guess it doesn't have to be blocked, but then if they don't block, they take 15. So, you know, it's up to them. Do you want to take 15? We'll see. And by the way, I'm somehow still at 20 life. 10 cards left in my library. What did they do? Lionheart. Okay, well, that was a really easy decision. Grand Pulse down. I guess they just didn't have the ability to equip and attack me. All right. Fair enough. So 4-2. Okay. You can move the sword over too. Sure. All right. Let's find some more action here. Summon Fat Chocobo would be great. This doesn't really matter. Like, you can move if you want. I mean, you should move, but it doesn't really matter. Like, I have an 8-8. You move it to your... Okay. Wow! Summon Fat Chocobo. That's literally what we wanted. I'm attacking. That's fine. The poison kill is dead. The poison kill is dead. All right, they're at 15. Let's go Fat Chocobo. I will play the land here because if I draw another land, I want to be able to play Memories Returning. All right, our board is gigantic. Lionheart was a decent draw there. Gallicat also very, very nice. But I mean, I'm the aggressor now, right? I'm at 20, they're at 15. I have an 8-8, that's going to be an 8-8 Trampler next turn. So they're not really in a position here to, like, move Dragoon's Lance and try to get in the air. If anything, they should move Lionheart and just put as much power and toughness on the board as possible to try to survive the onslaught coming from my side, right? So yeah. Heads up move there on the Gaelic Cat. Do I have any more removal? Do I have like an Ice Magic? I think I have an Ice Magic in my deck as my last removal spell. Travel the Overworld. I have 8 cards left. I will cast this. There is the Ice Magic. They're 15 life. All my stuff tramples, so I will attack with everything. Because if the Gaelic Cat blocks my 3-2, then I can just bounce the Gaelic Cat and they die. So, I mean, this is just a pretty hopeless spot for them regardless. So, 8, 12, 13, 14? 14 damage? Do I just let this happen? Or do I put them down to 1? Because alternatively, this puts them down to 12, 13, 14. Oh no, what am I saying? I just killed the Gaelic Cat and I kill them. Duh. My bad. My bad, opponent. I was not trying to slow roll you. I'm just dumb. Yeah. Okay. I figured it out, okay? Before you guys look, I know you're already in the comment section. I see it. I see it. Okay? So I just relax and let's just win the last match. Okay? All right, well, we won that game, so I'm clearly just playing all my town greeters. All right, opponent on the play here. Our hand is looking excellent. Islands, Forest, double Town Greeter, Wyvern, Kick, and Cloud of Darkness. So hopefully the greeters can find us one of our 2 black sources in our deck. But I have a 2-drop, a 3-drop, an interactive spell, and a really good uncommon. All right, opponent also on a blue-green deck on the play with a turn 2 Town Greeter. I always feel like if my opponent's also doing the same thing, that they just have the better version. It's like it was more open for them or they got more rares. That's always my fear. Resentful Revelation is interesting. I guess they're just straight 3 colors? Or maybe they're splashing blue. I guess I don't have enough information here. All right, I milled 3 of my best cards. My opponent plays fast and loose. I like it. We're just doing the exact same thing. It looks like they're a blue-green deck. Yeah, blue-green for sure. Splashing black. Splashing black for Revelation is a little sketch. But if you have a lot of self-mill, I guess. Alright. I mean, I'm on the draw. I'm up a card, so this is kind of what I should be doing. Although, now they just played a Final Days. Wait, what are you doing? We're just living in the land of irresponsible mana. Actually, with all the towns, that's not actually true. I'm just being mad. Cloud of Darkness for 8. Not bad. 5 cards in hand for the opponent. Why couldn't we at least mill like a flashback card? You know what I mean? Town Greeter, okay. This Final Days is going to be a problem. Whoo, Lunar Whale Balam. I told you that my opponent was going to have a better version of my deck. It just always happens. That's why I dislike mirrors. I don't need a land. Let's play Ignis. Black? There we go. Travel the Overworld, sure. Well, this is the biggest Cloud of Darkness of all time. So wait, they're they're splashing blue. No, never mind. I'm not even gonna try. Okay, what do I do here? I mean, this is not a good scenario here at all, obviously. 4 cards in hand for the opponent. I mean, I don't really have a choice, right? Like, I should just play Cloud of Darkness. Let's kill this. If they kill this, we're kind of in a racing situation. I can gain life here with the Ignis. So I'm okay with that. And then I also have a bunch of Chocobo kicks if I really need to finish things off. They have double Balam Garden, by the way. They got double Balam Garden and a Lunar Whale. Do we have a rare? Oh, we have the Regalia. Sure. And that is another Town Greeter. We have 15 cards left in our library already. What happened? Don't need lands. That is a fat chocobo. All right, they're going to flip the first vehicle. They might keep it on defense, though. We'll see. Just to keep it at bay. But it is really tempting to attack with it. For sure. 5 cards in hand. Omega. Holy cow. Okay. Oh, they want to get very aggressive. Sure. Oh, they're splitting the difference. Sure. Okay, we'll take 6. Let's exile. I don't care if they flash back the Resentful Revelation here. Like, I feel like the life is probably more important here. So they're keeping Balam on defense. Let's kill Omega. Can't do anything about it. Oh my gosh. Wow. I can't believe they did that. Okay. I mean, like, obviously they don't know that I have sorcery speed removal, so never mind. But that is ridiculous. Holy cow. Okay, let's attack. Like, somehow I feel like I have a glimmer of hope now. I mean, they still have 4 cards in hand. Like, you know, don't get my hopes up too much, right? But Evil reawakened on Omega. Okay. Well, you know what? We tried. We tried. Yeah. I mean, their deck is fantastic. Look, there is no shame in losing to this deck in particular. No shame at all. Like, they have a far superior version of, like, the Towns deck. Yeah. Okay. I guess I have to play this. There's a Memories returning. Got a land. Can't cast it yet. Yeah, okay. Alright. Side quest Hunt the Mark as well. So they just had an excellent Sultai deck. I'm gonna assume that their mana was great. We are now 28th. Hopefully we can win the last one. Now, like, yeah, okay, you know what? Like, 4 seems like a lot. Doesn't 4 seem like a lot? Like, do I want a different 2-drop here? And if so, what is it? Right? Like, Syncopate Gardener, do I want a Greens? Do I want a Bard's Bow? Like, I don't know. Nah, I'll play the Gardener. I'll play the Gardener. All right. Small change, 6 and 1. Let's win this last one. Alrighty, on the play here, we drew. Look, we still have the Town Greeter, turn 2. Excellent. 3 lands, Ice Magic, Town Greeter, Fat Chocobo, and Omega. So, I mean, this is a hand where drawing the Gardener wouldn't be too bad, I guess. Like 1 of each, instead of 2. Right, Island for the opponent. All right, we drew a Wyvern as a nice 3-drop. Turn 2 Town Greeter. Hopefully we can find a land. We did. I will take a Forest because I already have 3 blue sources in my hand. Blue-black control. And they played a Pixie. I mean, I'm on the play. Like, I'm going to play Ignis here over the Wyvern. Like, they could kill this anyways, and I'd rather just ramp. And we hit the black source in the Treno, which makes the Omega better. So this is great because now we get to go turn 4 Fat Chocobo on the play, which I think has a lot of value. Looks like they're playing okay. Ultros is obviously very good. Ultros is annoying. Ooh, Regalia. I think that's just better, right? Let's get that going. Got another land in. Because they can't stun this. Yeah. Wow, they blocked. Okay. Now we get to play a land. So now, an untapped land here lets us just play Omega next turn, which is amazing. What is this? Gix? Nice. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, they're getting value here for sure. So for us, it's just a matter of trying to overwhelm our opponent. We did draw an untapped land, which is absolutely amazing. 5 cards in hand for the opponent. I'm going to tap down the Pixie. Let's attack. Hit another land. Okay. Like, sure, they're up some resources with the Gix, but, you know, like, look at how many... We have 8 lands in play. So, very good spot to be. And them casting Resentful Revelation here is fantastic for us. They need to find an overkill here or stuck in Summoner Sanctum. Sleep Magic also works, sure. Now, I can use Ice Magic to bounce the Omega if I need. And are they going to attack me with the Gix? Okay, okay. You know what? I'm okay. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. We drew a Chocobo Kick as well. But I'm not even going to play it this turn. I'm going to go Wyvern. And play Summon Fat Chocobo here. Alright, they're at 5. And my board is incredible. Also, I have, what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. So next turn, like, I can just bounce Omega and tap something. Or I have 2 removal spells with the Summon Fat Chocobo going off. Okay. And a Lunar Whale to tap something down, presumably. All right, well, I mean, this should be the game, I think. Unless they extremely greedily attack with Sahagin. All right, they didn't. Okay, so now everything has trample. I messed up again. Oh, I'm an idiot. God. I played too fast. I think I'll be okay, but that's really frustrating. Oh, they have the Lunar Whale as well. I needed to crew with this on the ability on the stack. That was really bad. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, they're going to have to make some pretty bad blocks here, so... This is a 4-2 trampler, too. So yeah, they're still dead. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's the second time I made that mistake. Sagas plus vehicles, especially Chocobo plus vehicle, is definitely a thing. And fortunately, our hand was just like awesome, and we drew incredibly well. Our opponent had a good draw too, but we just ramped, and we got a nice and tidy trophy to close out our final fantasy season. So that is all obviously a very incredible feeling here. Our deck was rock solid. You know, we had what is it like? I mean, we had some number of uncommons, right? We had 2 rares here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, you know, this deck was fine. I didn't know that it had what it took to win a trophy, but like, if you just look at the just pure quality of the cards, every single card in my deck is a card I'm happy playing. And that hasn't always been the case in a lot of my decks. So, you know, the one thing this deck certainly could have used was maybe a couple more towns and, you know, maybe a little more top end, but the Regalia was insane, particularly in this deck, and we had plenty of card draw, and we had just enough to kind of eke things out and win in the late game. I also would have liked maybe a recursion spell with the 3 town greeters, and obviously we started the 4, but all in all, you know, like I still made this work. We had a really, really good low curve. We just made sure we played to the board. We had, what, 3, 4, 5, 7 2-drops, 2 Death Touch creatures, a 1-drop Sleep Magic. So we had all the tools here to survive so that we can resolve Memories Returning and Travel the Overworld. Like, the issue that you can have is you draft a deck with a bunch of card draw, but not enough cheap things. And then your deck is way too clunky and you just get run over. But for us, we had so many things to play early where we were able to establish a good line of defense before firing off our value cards to be able to win the game in the late game. And also, we just, you know, we drew pretty well as well. So all in all, very, very happy with this deck. And that is a trophy, which puts us at rank number 22 And all things considered, given just how much I played this season, that's a really, really good finish for me personally, just because I didn't jam a ton of drafts offline. And so it was mostly just doing a video a day. So my win rate had to be really, really high to be able to pull that off for this season. So why don't we pull up my actual win rate? This time you can actually see the numbers here. So let's analyze my stats for the format and then my final thoughts as well. Alrighty, here we go. Let's take a look at our stats. So for my stats for this season, so this is only the month of July, but I have a 74% win rate. 74% win rate, 7-win run, actually up gems. And we've only played 14 hours, and we're 78 and 28. So that is an incredible win rate, given that I started out the season really, really slow. Like the first month was bad, and I'll show you those numbers afterwards. Let's take a look at the stats overall. I played Sultai Town / Valley more than anything else with an 84% win rate. That's right. I did much, much better with the Towns decks than I did with my various control decks. Look at Blue-Black. It's a small sample size, but I went 7 and 6. Blue-Red, I went 5 and 3. Right, so 2 drafts, 63%. So Sultai by far doing the best. But we were also able to experiment. You know, we got a trophy with a blue-white deck. We got a trophy with a red-white deck. And then also we went a clean 7-0 with a 4-color deck, but also Sultai base. And then we also had a Jund deck that went 7-1. So all in all, lots of success this season. Doing super, super well. 7-1. You see the draft from the other day. This one was an experimental draft where we went 4 and 3. 6 and 3 with the Urza deck, 7-2, 7-2, 7-1. We did have a 1 and 3, but 7-0. Lots of trophies. So all in all, this month went really, really well. I think I did figure out this format as I played it a little bit more. I think early on, I just hard force control a lot. And while I do think that's okay, I think I probably didn't give the green decks enough respect early on. And I think I ended up just performing a lot better. But let's look at my overall stats for the format. Here we go to current set. So going to current set, it's not going to be great. 63%. That's right. For my first month, I had a 61% win rate, which is roughly about 4% lower than my average since I started making content. So it was, and I played a lot in the first month. Like that's the month where I did play off stream, and look, minus 21,000 gems. So just full disclosure, like I was down gems doing all of this because I got my butt kicked in the first part of the season, but I did make a recovery. But all in all, you can't be too upset about a 63% win rate. I mean, the most telling thing is in the first month, I was not in the top 250, which is something that I finished basically every single season. And that's not because of a lack of trying. I played a lot and I just struggled. So where did I struggle? Well, Sultai didn't go as well for me. And I think I probably also tried drafting white decks. Look at my green-white win rate, 44%. Right? I tried Jeskai. Like I had some 0-3s and 0-2s. I had a mono white draft that I didn't show you guys because I went 0-3. That was pretty fun. Well, the draft was fun. The games were not so much. But all in all, I mean, we still were able to recover this month. And this is also a good indication of sample size, right? Somehow I went 74% this season and 61% last month, and I'm only at 63% because I played way, way more in the first season. So all in all, I mean, look, despite that, I still enjoy this format. And then one last thing here, let's take a look at our, not cube draft, event. This was the Arena Direct events. Right, these are also recorded. Now, I did play some on my laptop, which I don't think got recorded because I played a bit during the Pro Tour. But 69% win rate, pretty good, pretty solid. You should expect to have a pretty good win rate in this because you're playing against not all Mythic players. But at the same time, Seal Deck has an element of luck to it. But I do think Seal Deck building in this format took a lot of skill as well. So I'm pretty happy with my win rate in the Seal Deck format because all in all, I think I'm up I'm up several $1,000s from both of the Arena Direct events because I had a fairly decent win rate in all of these events. But yeah, those were my stats overall. I'm going to do current season just because in my head it feels better. 74%. There you go. But anyways, this was a very, very good season for me. And all in all, Final Fantasy, I think, was one of the best sets. For me, it is the best limited set that I've drafted this year. It was a ton of fun. There were so many different things you could do. It wasn't just I run you over and beat you down format, right? Which we've seen in some of the previous formats. But at the same time, it's not like the white aggressive decks were bad. You could still have success. It's just, it wasn't necessarily deep enough to support a bunch of players. But how many of you have gotten run over by turn 1 Magitech Infantry, turn 2 White Mage's Staff, turn 3 Gallicat? You can draft a good white aggressive deck. The problem is all the aggressive decks had to be white, right? If you weren't white aggressive, you just couldn't be aggressive any other way. In which case, all of a sudden, it's like, do you do the Dimir control thing, the blue-red control thing, Golgari, Sultai towns, 5-color towns? Those are the other things that were all viable. But the one thing I like about this, compared to something like Tarkir, is in Tarkir, it was just like, Boros was clearly the thing to do, or 5 colors, there was nothing in between. Here, there is a lot of other mid-range strategies you can draft, right? And even with the white aggressive decks, you can draft blue-white aggro, black-white, red-white, right? Those are all fine. And those, you can have success with all of them. And I like that. I love when you can have a wide variety of decks that you can draft and have success with. And that, I think, is a hallmark of a good format. And this format basically checked all the boxes. I think the worst performing archetype was Gruul. And in those things, it's just like, just don't draft an aggro Gruul landfall deck. Just like take some of the Gruul cards, but oftentimes you just want to splash a 3rd color anyways, like Jund or Temur, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine for the most part. And that's probably because red in general was not super deep at common. Like, you have the 2 removal spells, but that's kind of it. Call the Mountain Chocobo is fine in the blue-red decks, but if you're like super aggro, maybe it's not as good. You know, certainly black, blue, and green were, in my opinion, the best colors in the format, and red and white were the worst colors. Like, the problem with white is it's so hard to draft a white control deck or a slow white deck. Like, almost all the white cards want you to be aggressive. So, like, yes, you can be proactive, but that is why it also just kind of limits the ways that you can build your deck. And with red, it was just simply too shallow. Like, some of the uncommons were good. And the thing is, even those were considered some of the weaker colors. You can still draft good decks with those cards. They still had good support cards. And the signpost uncommons were powerful enough where if those colors were open, you can still have success. And white did have one of the best commons, right? White Aura Sight is fantastic. And Thunder Magic is great. So still plenty of good cards. It's just there was definitely a lot less depth. Whereas look at green. Okay? Grand Pulse Ochu, Town Greeter, Gubu Gardener, Chocobo Kick, Fat Chocobo. These are all cards you're happy playing in your green decks for the most part, right? That's 5. And I've played Gigantoads. Like, it goes really deep. Whereas red, like, do you want to play Summon GF for free in your deck? I don't think so. Do you want to play Sabatender in your deck? I don't think so. I would be sad playing those cards ever in my red decks. Hilgigas, right? It's just like even their land cycler is worse than, you know, BalMT Rexar and Marlboro. So I think also the Moogle, the white Moogle. The Moogle should have been like a stronger, I think, like a 3/2 flyer or something. I don't know. Anyways, that's why I feel like when you see a lot of my videos, I want to start with like a blue, green, or black base, because I just feel like from there, I can go a lot of different ways. Whereas if I start with a bunch of red cards, things could go awry if red ends up drying up and you just end up kind of in a weaker color combination. But yeah, all in all, you know, value was the name of the game in this format for the most part. Outside of that, you can still draft the white aggro decks, but I really enjoyed this format. The signpost uncommons were awesome. I really love the fact that there's 2 signpost uncommons at every color combination. I feel like they should continue doing that. I just think it's excellent. It just makes you feel something. They're like pseudo rares, right? Like having Ignis and Omega in your decks, they work so well together. I just like that design. I like that they've been doing this. And I hope that Wizards continues doing this, because it just, I don't know. These uncommons are, I mean, they're signposts for a reason. When you see one of these late, you're like, aha, it helps you draft. Right? It helps you figure out that that's where you need to be and allows you to make those pivots. Whereas if you just sometimes see blue or green cards, you might not do that. So I like it. I love the signpost uncommons. Cloud of Darkness, Omega, Ignis, Shantoto. Like, there's so many sweet ones. They did such a good job designing basically all of them. So I just think they did an excellent job. They should look at what they did with the signposts in this format and try to replicate that moving forward, because I think they really nailed it. I don't know who was responsible for limited design for Final Fantasy, but whoever it was, I probably know who you are, but I don't know right now who it is. Great job for making, I mean, one of the better limited sets in a while, in my opinion. This was super fun. I drafted this format over 50 times, but I feel like I want to draft it 20 more. And that is how you know you really nailed it. So, honestly, if I gave this format a letter grade, I guess I don't give these out very often. So let's just give it a 9 out of 10. I won't give it a 10. I don't know. It's kind of like I never, even like when you eat at a good restaurant, like I just don't give, even if I really like it, like I don't give it a 10 out of 10. So I'll do the same thing here, but just know that it's like, this is like a spiritual 10 out of 10. It's like, I give it a 9, maybe a 9.5. Just like most of the themes hit, like the artifacts thing worked, the graveyard thing worked, the towns thing worked, the blue-red spells matter thing worked, Dimir control worked, black-white sacrifice was decent, green-red, maybe landfall didn't work that well, and green-white was just like okay. So maybe that's it. But like they nailed almost every single color combination, and a lot of the archetypes worked. So honestly, great job, Wizards of the Coast. If there was one piece of feedback I would give, is the fact that I really do not like the fact that the 3 best rares in the set were bonus sheet cards that were not main set rares. I don't like it. I don't like it. Like, yes, I know this bonus sheet was big because you wanted to jam a bunch of Final Fantasy characters into the format. But like, why do we need Urza, Smuggler's Copter, Winota, you know what I mean? And Atraxa. Like, why do those have to be the best rares in the set? I don't know. Is that just me? I just don't, it doesn't sit well with me that the coolest and most interesting bombs in the set are cube staples that everybody already knows are really good. Like, I want the best rare in the set to be Arden, right? I want the best rare in the set to be Dion, and they're up there, but they're like 4th and 5th instead of 1st and 2nd. So I don't know. Like, it's a small gripe, but that's just me personally. It just feels a little bit off. But that's a tiny thing. Honestly, they did a fantastic job with the flavor too. Just like you could tell that whoever helped design this format, they cared. They really cared. They got the flavor just perfect. Anytime I question something, somebody in the comments would be like, Paul, because blah, 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 and flavor. I'm like, okay, I get it. So they just nailed everything. So really, really great job. I'm going to miss this format. I highly doubt there's going to be a format set that comes out this year that's going to beat this. Edge of Eternities, good luck. I'm excited about drafting you tomorrow, or sealed, I guess I'll do tomorrow. But you have big, big shoes to fill because you are going off of Final Fantasy, which I feel like could go down as an all-timer. Flavor, mechanics, balance. I just thought this was an incredible format. Really, really fun. Thank you for giving us one of the best sets for Limited Magic. All right. Anyways, we're going to be moving on here to Edge of Eternities. That's going to be tomorrow. I will be part of the early access event. I'm going to be basically playing for 14, 15 hours straight, recording a ton of videos to make sure all of you get Edge of Eternities content. I'm going to start things off with a sealed deck, and then we'll do some drafts basically the rest of the way. Just one sealed, right? And then we'll do drafts the rest of the way just to get you all set up for Edge of Eternity. So that's really exciting. And yeah, I'm super excited to, of course, also draft new formats. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I truly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and would like to support the channel in another way, I have a Patreon channel. That's patreon.com/paulcheon. The Patreon is a really great place to basically join a community of folks looking to also up their limited game. You get access to my Discord channel, a lot of discussions already with Edge of Eternity stuff, and it really, really ramps up once the early access event happens and once the release happens. So if you want to make sure that you get caught up to speed with all things in the format, it's a really great community. I try to stay active in there as well. You know, what's the pick? What's the build? Trophy picks, good beats, bad beats, lots of good stuff. Check it out. Once again, Patreon, link in the description below. Also, check out TCGplayer.com for all your Magic the Gathering singles and sealed product needs. Pre-orders for Edge of Eternities should be available now. Make sure you buy those booster boxes of Edge of Eternities. Hit that affiliate link in the description below before going shopping. Last but not least, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmat, sleeves, dice boxes, life pads, and more, check out heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.